right, this very, very next one. Tony is going to love this one for sure. Because this is his head coach. He knows this head coach very well. We all do. Because as soon as I say the name, you're going to know exactly who I'm talking about. He is the most winningest college coach, period, in basketball. Not just in men's, not just in women's, not in just the Big East, period. I'm talking about UConn's head coach since 1985. That's how long he's been there. Geno Auriemma. Geno Auriemma has his Lady Huskies in the Final Four again. This man, 69-year-old Geno Auriemma, has a total record of 1,213 wins and 161 losses. I don't think y'all heard me when I said that. He has 1,213 wins and only 160 losses. And he's been the head coach since 1985. Not only is that his record, that's just the wins and losses. He also has now made 23 Final Four appearances, and he's on pace to win his 12th, not his first, not his second, not his third, not his fourth, but his 12th national championship in college basketball. They had some injuries this year, and they still went 33-5. They still won the Big East tournament. They beat the number one team in USC. And when I say they did an awesome job defending their best player, Juju Watkins, if you didn't watch that game, then you don't know what I'm talking about. But she did not have an easy shot all night long because this head coach made sure those young ladies were ready to win that game. When I say that they out hustled them, they out hustled them. They made the right plays. They didn't turn the ball over that much. They shot better from three. They did everything right. They had more rebounds. UConn is what it is as a program in college women's basketball because of this head coach. He turned this program around. Now, this is what you call a great coach, a Hall of Famer, an elite coach. I don't know what you can say about Coach Calipari, but Tony, go ahead.
That's a crazy jab there. Um, yeah, man. So that's funny.
So, so
I,
the reason we're laughing is because Joe put in the comment section the Pistons have more losses this year than Geno had in the last 40 years. That's crazy.
yeah. So look, we discussed this beforehand before the game came on, right? We you and I had had a discussion about it, and I had told you what was going to happen. I said they're going to beat them. But now one of the craziest things about this game is something that most people didn't point out about this game. Page played all 40 minutes. Edwards played all 40 minutes. That means Juju came out, sat down, got rest, and came back in, and she still had to face Paige Beckers, who was didn't sit down. She didn't sit down the whole. She played the entire game. They only like now UConn normally runs probably about a 10, 11 player bench. player, 10, 11 player team, right? Because he likes to keep players fresh and stuff like that. They've had five major injuries. Five major injuries, right? They only play 8 players. They only play 8 players. They've only played 8 players since like week 16 or something like that of the season. They've
Mm.
only played 8 players. If you go look at the end of their bench, look at the end of their bench, you'll see all 5 of those players in sweatsuits sitting on the end of the bench. Just
Just
think
chilling.
about just think
Just
about
chilling.
that. Think about that. Think about the fact that Paige Beckers is coming back next year and all 5 of those players will be back.
I'm just saying.
What is that team going to look like next year?
I'm just saying.
You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
just saying.
Like
Even though USC has the #1 recruiting class,
they do,
I'm
they
just
do.
saying.
And
You got
so,
Geno and Paige. So
but see, here's the thing that most people didn't notice about Geno. If you watch that fourth quarter, like he actually sat down a lot more this game than I normally see Geno sit down. Right? He was sitting down, but the fourth quarter, my man, every time they came down, because remember in the fourth quarter, both when they were on offense, they were on their side of the floor each
mhm.
time. So the head coach was on the side of the floor when they were doing offense on the fourth quarter. Remember that. If you go back and look when the game was, I think it was 63 all. I think it was 63, 66 all, something like that. 66. I know that I think it was 60, 63. USC had
Mhm.
tied it up. I think it was, right? And when UConn went on that run, when they went on that run, guess who was calling the plays? Look on the sideline. Gino was directing the play the entire time. He was sitting in there telling them, "Hey, nope, don't move yet. Nope, don't move yet. No, you get over there. You go right there. No, no, stay right there. Hey, this play is for you. Stay right here. All right, now go, go." And every time they did that, they scored. Every single time. Every single time. Right? Like you can have the best players in the league, right? You can have all the players, but if you don't know how to use those players, you know what I'm saying? That's like you going out and buying the most expensive car out there, right? Got all these gadgets on it. But if you don't know how to use those gadgets, then you just got a car. You just pretty much got a Toyota Corolla. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
And he knows how to use his players. He knows the strengths and weaknesses of his players. He knows how to get the most out of them. They've learned how to play as a team. Kind of like, and be honest with you, kind of like why South Carolina is winning the way South Carolina is winning because they've learned how to play as a team. Remember, this is a whole new starting five for Don Staley too.
Hmm.
All right, remember that too. Like these two coaches have had to go in there and I wouldn't call it an adversity, and you got a player like they have, right? I think she's what 6'7" or something like that. So
Yeah.
when you got somebody like that, and you kind of gives you an advantage. Also, we don't really have to worry about it. Just throw it into the big girl and let her do what she does. But what UConn had to do with Leah Edwards getting hurt, that's why she has that mask on. Um, and them having to play through that first. When they played South Carolina the first time, they had just had another injury. They were out down 4 players. Now they've learned how to play each other. That's going to be an interesting matchup. Now, will they get past Iowa? We'll see. I will tell you this much: Caitlin Clark will not be sitting wide open like she was against LSU. That's all I got to say.
Yep. Hey, this is the show where I talk about everybody. I talk about every sport. I had to talk about this situation. I had to let y'all know who the best coach in college basketball is. I know I had a segment about Don Staley. Sorry.
I say who?
Don't don't kill me. Don't kill me. Charge it to my head, not my heart.
I thought you was
Um,
trying to name both Connecticut coaches at the same time. I was like,
no,
okay.
no, no, but yeah, Geno he's the best college basketball coach ever. You just got to say it. Um, especially in women's. I think it's without a doubt. No one has had the run that he's had, and he's made adjustments through every single time.
I mean, just think about
Because
2013.
this is the NIL. This is something very new, and you
Hmm.
don't hear him complaining about it. He accepted it, used it to his advantage, and he got Page, and Page is coming back for another season.
Think about 2013 though. Think about what he did in 2013. Like you've never heard of that in women's college basketball before. They won 3 straight championships.
Definitely did.
They won 3 straight championships, and it was just like everybody was sitting back. Was like, all right, so we know what's gonna happen this year. Let's go ahead and play the year out. Who they playing next? That's basically what the year was going like, man. And if they wouldn't have the injuries, they would have won 4.
That's true. Yes, Carl. I know Page was before the NIL. I'm just saying he can still use it to his advantage and not complain about the NIL. That's all I meant to say. Okay. Thanks for correcting me.
I mean, that's the
Since
same thing that Dan Hurley did. I mean, you got a couple of players on our team right now that we took advantage of getting when in UConn men's basketball team.
all I'm saying is that he can use the NIL to keep his players because she's coming back for another senior season. So that's that. He doesn't worry. He doesn't. I don't think he has to worry about someone leaving. So Geno, Auriemma, greatest coach, at least in women's college basketball, because some will argue that it's someone else in because of men's, but you can't deny what he's done. You are a dog, so welcome.
Who's a men they gonna say? Wooten? That's the only one I can think of. Wooten.
I've heard Wooten, I've heard Coach K. So
No, Coach K never. Maybe
hey,
Wooten.
wait! Don't disrespect Coach K.
I'm not saying he wasn't a great coach, but he's
Okay,
not this. He doesn't reach the pedestal of this guy in Wooten.
no, I don't believe so either. But I don't believe so either. But that's what we got the show for.